Okay, guys, today, what happens when someone just likes to do weird with AI music and goes weird with video and just is a really good creative process? Today, I interview Lewis Nomad, a dude with ADHD that has no ability to stop once he starts working. We're going to break down his process. We're going to talk about some of the things that he does in the media. This is a serious player, and I had a great conversation with him, and I just want you to have a look at it, watch to the end, and just comment what you think. Thanks for tuning in.
I saw your UFO video and I was like, dude, this is just a cool thing, man. And obviously it takes like a cool brain to think of that and put it together. People have all this stuff bottled up, but it's cool when you get stuff that comes through that's just talented, messing about, but also just something to say as well. I don't know, I can't even describe it. So
Well, don't think that my work isn't free of therapy because there's a
yeah,
lot of that as well. But
yeah,
I tend not to put it visually. I have a couple of albums on Spotify about past relationships and, hard times when I was a kid, bullying and stuff. But I think just the music is good enough because, and it's for myself. I put it out there just in case anyone can relate, but it is for myself because just by listening to it, I don't know, I kind of get over it. Again, but I don't want to put it visually because that exercise would be like reliving the experience, and I don't think it's worth it for me. I just, it's the past. So just the music
yeah.
alone, it's just a prompt. Yeah, I write some lyrics and that's it. But putting the work in the video is days and days and days listening to that song all the time and visualizing that and getting back in my memory. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back there. No, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny that because it's not like I've been this musician for like a really long time, and it's funny you say that because this is a thought I've been having maybe over the last couple songs, maybe the last 3 songs that I've been doing, and I'm going. First of all, like the rewrites are part of it, but also the visual parts, like you said. So you spend a lot of time with that song and you get really intimate with the song, and the song can, at least the way I do it, like, this is the cool thing, this is why I want to have these conversations too, because I haven't had these experiences. I want to know how that relates to other people too. Like I'll start a song, it'll be one thing, and then as you spend more time with it, it becomes more of that thing or even a slightly different thing. And when you add visuals, it's stuff that comes out of you, and then it becomes even more than that. I don't, is that basically what you're saying?
It is, and also, a lot of songs. When I was younger, I thought, oh, but this song doesn't make any sense. But I still feel something when I hear it. And then, when you get older, you realize that some songs are meant not to be something, or at least not, they don't want to have some specific meaning attached to it. So anyone who would listen to it would make their own story in their minds, and they would make the song theirs. So when you go to a concert, you listen to you hear them say, the singers, the artists, they say, this song is not mine anymore, it's yours. And it's true, because if you ask 10 different people about the song, they will tell you 10 different things about what the song means. So when you attach a visual storytelling to a song, you're saying, this is what I mean, and this only. So yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, people, oh man, it's such an interesting, it's so cool to be able to talk about this stuff because I don't get to. I just talk at the screen and stuff like this. It's cool to have someone like you that's so visual about it too, because I've started playing with more just putting something on screen with an audio visualizer in my last couple videos, right? And then it does become more about the song. Like you have to put a lot more brain, I guess, power into the song itself, especially since the words come up on screen, and especially seeing like my stuff is subtle digs, but like in a fun way, or they're just sarcastic or whatever. Exactly what you say. Sometimes the music is on its own, right?
Yeah. If Freud was alive right now, he would have a field trip with all of us.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, he would. Yeah. Like maybe Freud would say, maybe you kind of, in a way, do know what that means.
Yeah,
it's deep, very deep down, you know. Yes. So like, tell me a bit more about yourself, because it seems like you're a developer, right?
I'm a developer. I've been doing software development since 1997.
Wow.
So that's a
That
long
was,
time.
you're starting to think of that, man. That was what Windows. Don't tell me. That was Windows. Yeah, that'd be Windows 95, and maybe right after. Yeah, yeah. That's right. Wow.
Yes, I started with Visual Basic, which is about to be deprecated and decommissioned for good. Very sad.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
I made a living with that.
Wow. And what sort of projects are you like? I've actually done a little bit of research. I've gone to your page. I see you work for BBC and some different sort of projects. And so, like, what sort of development work do you? Is it games or is it?
Nowadays it's more managing and leading teams than it is actual coding. But I still have a percentage of my work is still about coding and making the technical decisions. But it's mainly web applications and applications. So mobile applications, but in the BBC, the work that I did, it was about accessibility. That is something that I'm very involved with lately, making sites accessible because there's a new European regulation about that, and the deadline is this year. Yeah. So all the companies now are rushing to fix everything last minute. Yeah. But a bit of everything, mostly software development in general, but front-facing. So applications, websites.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Well, I'll just say I'll confess that like I watched a good portion of your I guess your video of that monkeys throwing bananas at stuff. Yeah. See, like it takes a nerd to be able to yourself like me to be able to sit through watching like how good is this? Just a guy developing a game about like that was out on DOS a long time ago about monkeys throwing bananas at each other. So your channel itself, like what is it? It's not just AI music, right? Or do you have several channels?
Well, Matt, when I started this, I didn't know where I was going, to be honest, because it was July last year, July 2024. So I was just playing around. I saw a lot of people doing really cool stuff out there, and I said, well, let's give it a try. But everything was, well, if it's hard today to do a full-grown music video, you can imagine how it was 7-8 months ago. It was really, really hard. There was no consistency in characters. It was totally random. And if today cherry picking is a thing, back then it was like, I'm going to give up. So I didn't have an expectation of becoming any sort of, I don't know, AI person. I was just playing around. Actually, my channel already existed 4 years ago, but I didn't have any content. So it was there, but I wasn't using it. So first it was Suno. I started with Suno, and then I started making music videos with stock footage using Canva. So if you see my videos, most of them are stock footage, because other than coding, I've been doing videography for a long time and photography as well, traditional photography. So I've been always a visual person and I always like to create visual stuff. But then I saw people doing that with AI and said, oh, what if I incorporate or if I bring some AI clips into my footage and see how it goes? And it started like, I don't know, 2-3 clips, then half of the video, then the full video. And it was crazy.
Yeah, and so I think you said something about in one of your songs like AI. I forget what it was. I like to make things with AI or something. I think it was in one of your songs, and you said something like, when I get going, I go for 12 hours or something like that. And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that, especially when things aren't going right. You just want to get it right. And especially as a developer, like I've been doing stuff with computers since I was 8 years old. And when you start things, sometimes you don't sleep, right? Because it just feels like you got to get it right.
Yes. Stuck in my head. Also, full disclosure, I have ADHD. And I don't know if you know what that means, but we have something called hyperfocus. We obsessed over things. So that's why sometimes I put so many videos in a row, because I have so many ideas and I have to get them right. So I literally go to bed at 3 a.m. and I still can't sleep because I have another idea, or I'm meeting with my family and hold on a second, I'll be right back. And then I go to the computer and do something. But yeah, it's like nonstop. It doesn't, my brain doesn't rest, unfortunately. I would like it to, but it doesn't.
Well, do you think that's good for ADHD or bad for ADHD? Like just having something to focus on?
I think it's neither good or bad, because if it's not this, it would be something else. It would be something to overthink about. Maybe something that I said 3 months ago, I'm thinking about it today. So this is more positive. If you put it in a balance, it's better to do something creative with your superpower, your hyperfocus, rather than obsessing over things that you said or the stupid discussions or politics. You know, there's people very hung up on politics and the discourse out there with hate, and that's why they comment on everything, answer everything, because they are hyper focusing on that. I would rather take myself out of that place and put this energy to work with something positive.
It's so true, man. And I mean, I haven't been diagnosed with that at all, but I feel like you mentioned that, and that's a specific thing I've had a problem with, and this takes me away from, right? Like having the YouTube channel and something to do, plus the creative part of the music, and like you said, if I'm going to bother releasing it all, it's got to be quality to the level that I can produce, and maybe even a little bit better every time. And I never thought of it as like therapeutic or something positive to focus on for people with ADHD, but very much this channel is something that I've wanted to have so people could literally have a positive focus, because the politics have been bad, like people getting angry at each other for basically no reason at all, like you know, Elon Musk is doing this or that, so let's all fight about each other with each other over that or whatever. Like, either like the guy or don't. We don't need to get involved in calling each other names. Why don't we all just get a really cool focus, like putting something out that's good that we can all enjoy and share and comment on. That's really the basis of why I like to run this channel, is it gives people, and that's why I want people to I guess to go to other people's songs and comment and like it. I just feel it's like a positive thing for people to do, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And you're building a community, so that is a good thing. There's no negative out of building community and bringing people together. There's nothing bad can come out of this. So
yeah, especially if that's the focus, right? To do that. Yeah. So what are you working on at the moment? Any songs you're working on at the moment?
Yes, I just released 2 videos, one in my channel, but also another one for a Latin artist. He's a singer. He released the video on Vivo yesterday, and so far he's doing very well. So I'll share it in, I don't know how to share it in my channel, to be honest, because although it's my video, it's his music, so I don't want my video to be taken down. So I don't know, and that's something that that's something I wanted to propose to you to discuss in one of your videos, the licensing and dealing with all these things. Because although I drafted a distribution license for him, where it says that the video is actually mine, so I get to keep all the rights on the video. He can obviously put it wherever he fancies, but eventually, if I say, no, the video has to go down, then it's in written, it's mine, it has to go down for whatever reason. So I keep the rights. But it's a very gray area right now, because I don't think AI artists know how to deal with these things, because most of us are going solo. We don't have an agency behind. So we are the agency. So all of these legal details, we don't know. And it would be very interesting to bring someone who knows about this and who can. Right now I'm working hard on getting that Miss Crystal. I've got Carla working hard to try to get Miss Crystal on the thing. And she's I don't know if you've seen, she's the AI copyright attorney. She does a lot of content around that stuff. Well, watch music. It's like music. I'll look it up really quick, because I watch her stuff. She is so good at breaking down legal stuff within there and explaining to people.
Copyright. Let me just see. Yep, there she is. I'm gonna give you her top music attorney. She's so good, and I watch a lot of her content, which is why I can sort of speak to it a little bit, but not in any sort of real legal way. Which is, you're right. Like, the stuff's very much up in the air. Like, I guess the thing about wanting to get in first and hopefully you're on the ground running when everything like this becomes big, part of it is the risk. And the risk is that all the AI, all the copyright people, you know, in the US and the legislation could say, all your content has to be taken down now, none of it's legal. You know, that's a risk. You know, like, I think it's a low risk based on the way the conversations are going. I think, like she said at one point, it looks like, you know, the government is kind of saying, like, we want you to have this ability to copyright your stuff. Help us understand how. Put things forward so it makes sense. And there's certain things as an AI artist you can actually copyright now, and that is if you show how, like, in what way you physically created something and had AI assist, and you can actually copyright those components. And she's done it, but it's in the way it sounds vague. It's because right now it's still vague, right? Because even they don't really know exactly how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm watching her channel right now. She also has reaction videos. You know, at some point I considered doing those, but I haven't. As you can check on my video, there are no such videos. But although I have so many subscribers, I'm still not monetized, and I'm still 2,000 hours away from being monetized. That's crazy, because people only watch like 30 seconds of the video, and then maybe they hit like, but then they leave. So the view time is very low. It's really low.
The thing is, the only thing I could think of is there's no common theme, I suppose, across your stuff. I suppose, maybe, I don't know. Like, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine that I was just on his podcast yesterday, and I was having a phone conversation with him. Like, I've known this guy for years, and he was saying the same thing. He goes, I've got like 50,000 subscribers, and I'm paying for studio time. You pay like $150,000 for like a year's worth of studio time to do podcasts. And he goes, I don't get any interactions. I don't get anybody talking on the stuff. I want people talking about my videos and asking me questions, but I get no back and forth. And I mean, I'm not an expert yet. I've just hit that 3,000. I mean, I know how I get interactions on mine, because I guess that's literally what my channel's about, is just interacting with people. But I don't know, like the like you said, you've been grinding it literally since July, right? Like, that's what since you've been literally focusing on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
in the beginning it was just music. I mean, it was AI music, but the videos started a bit later. So yeah, music videos. So, but then with this kind of stuff, like building the game live, that has brought a lot of hours. So I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Create more content like that, not only because, you know, it's fun to watch how the AI builds a game, but also it's trendy, so people are interested in that at the moment, and is longer, because a song is 3 minutes. So even if it has 1,000 views, it's still 3 minutes.
Well, if it's true what they say, that like if you're authentic, people will be drawn to that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, on X it works because, you know, I put my stuff out there. It's appreciated. I appreciate others. So we comment each other. We give honest feedback. I try to always comment on the positive publicly, and the things that maybe I would improve privately. So because it doesn't feel like I'm, you know, being superior or something like that, because I'm not. I'm just like everybody else, just learning about this new technology as it evolves, like everybody else. So I'm no one to give lessons to nobody. So if I ever have some feedback, hey, you know, this, I would have made it some other way, I would say privately.
And the thing is, you can, though. I think people, if you're honest at the level you're at, like, if I know something really well, if I know it like intimately, I'll deliver the content like this. If I don't know it intimately, but I've given it a shot and I want people to try it, that's what I'll say, right? So I think you could be brutally honest sometimes if it's something like you're super expert in. But like you said, this particular technology, I don't know who can. It's only been around for a short amount of time, right? But I think in what you do, there's not a lot, from the stuff that I've seen, there's not a lot of people that do it exactly like you do it. Like the effort that there's X Blue Division. He puts a lot of, I don't know if you've watched his stuff, but he's very detailed in what he does as well. Man, I think if you're talking about being detailed and how to get stuff, I think if you're giving feedback, you have full authority to do so.
I don't know if it's authority or I don't know. It's just different point of views, and we feed each other, because I also learn from others a lot, and obviously. So yeah, sometimes I see stuff and I think I wish I had that idea.
Yeah.
So if you want to tell a story that doesn't make any sense, like coming back to the beginning of the conversation, like a song, the lyrics can tell you a story, but it only tells you like 60%, and the other 40 you make up for it, with your own imagination. So I think the same can apply to visuals. If you are abstract enough, and I'm not saying that I'm doing that on purpose, I'm just doing things because I feel they are cool, and to me they say something. But the expectation that every music video tells you a story, like a movie, no. I mean, if you go to the 80s, the 90s, a lot of the videos were absolutely crazy. And why? Because maybe the technology or the money, the budget to make a proper story wasn't there. So they came up with something fun, something that, it was more like spontaneous. So to me, AI video feels a bit like that, like going back to the 80s and doing crazy stuff just because. Yeah. So in the case of AI, the UFO video, for example, you can argue it's telling a story, but at the same time, it is not. So yes, it's telling the story of invasion, but if you listen to the song, because to me, the song and the video in that case go, hand in hand. It's about stupidity and the short attention span and how we give importance to things that maybe are not that important. So they're telling you that they discovered the cure for cancer and you're still upset because Trump did this or Elon did that. That's the point of the music, the song. It's not about aliens. I don't want to tell you a story about aliens coming and doing something specific. It's not about that. The point is that the shot with people taking selfies at the UFO. That's the summary of the whole thing. The stupidity, the how vain we are right now. Like TikTok stories have more importance than reading the science magazine and finding all the breakthroughs that we're doing in science that can change our lives forever. You don't know about that because you're busy watching someone on TikTok doing a stupid dance. So that's the point of UFO. Maybe you don't get it. Maybe I don't explain it correctly.
No,
I don't know.
I definitely. I put a comment under
when
there.
When my brother tells me, you're not telling the story. Are you getting the story?
Yeah.
One thing to notice is that my brother doesn't speak English. So I tell him sometimes, but have you read the lyrics? No, I don't need to. The visuals, I should be able to mute the video and understand it. No, that's not how it works. This is not a movie. It's a fucking music video, man. I mean, yeah. And so I don't show him my videos anymore because every time they comment, yeah, he's not telling me a story.
Yeah.
And, I don't care. He's my brother. I love him. But his traditional filmmaking, I'm AI video creator. I'm not going to call myself an artist, just AI creator. Yeah, it's different. It's different rules, different everything. It's a new generation, and you have to deal with that, man.
Well, the coolest thing is, like you said, there's no rules, man. Like, this, I'm waiting for the penny to drop on exactly what you said for the wider community, and just like a whole bunch of people to go like, I don't have to do it like that, like your brother. I don't have to do it like that. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I have this idea, and I'm going to run with it, and I'm just going to do it. And that's what I'm waiting for. And your UFO stuff and that thing about like dancing through the club, it just feels like some of that stuff is just about there, right? I have another, I want to say it's Dreamlarking, it may not be, that takes like old poems and recreates them with visuals. That's his thing, right? Like it's so true, man. Like we're not limited to stuff anymore. I think there's two things that I think that people see. There's people that just have a blockage. If it's AI, they're just going to basically reject it anyway. It doesn't matter what it is. They're just going to blah, blah, blah. And I think they're missing out when they do that.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is like, it's probably a bit of fear on some people's part too, because they've spent all their years and they've been mentored in this way. This is what it is. And they don't have any ability to sort of go like, holy crap, I can do anything I want, you know? Like I had someone submit a hip hop video to me like a few days ago.
But,
I know
maybe
like us as
overkill.
creators, we like that because we like go, how did he do that? Because I want to be able to get as good of as results. So for people like us, it's like, oh, dude, I got to try that. Actually, that's one of the reasons I tried it, and I was able to make that last video. And Lewis is using that. I'm going to check it out and see how it compares to other ones. So for us as creators, it's good that you have it out there.
Yeah, but maybe, I can do a follow-up on each video saying how I did it, and then comment on the tools in the video, and showing how I did it. That would be entertaining. It would be a tutorial for people wanting to do the same, and it would be promotion for the tools. So that would be another content. I can explore. Kind of content.
Awesome. So 2 bits of content for everyone. That's awesome. When you don't even have to think about what the content is, that's a bonus. We'll just about wrap it up. I think we have like 3 minutes more on this call. But like you mentioned that you have those partnerships. You went offline because I do want to have those partnerships because I already make videos about Runway and Leonardo and all those other ones. So do you mind sharing your contacts you have with them? Would that be cool, or is that sort of quiet a relation, or do you want to reach out to them and say, is it okay? Or
no, of course I can comment on it. I mean, how it works is normally they invite you, so they see your content online, they like it, and so one day you have one private message on your X account saying, hey, we are inviting you to the CPP. Okay, thank you so much. All the times you have to apply proactively. So for example, in the case of Runway, I did apply. Luma, they invited me, but in Runway, I had to apply. And I think it took a month for them to approve it. Also on Kling, I did apply to it. Hey Luo, I was invited. Nim, I was invited as well. Pixverse, Picard, I was invited.
And that's because you have like 17,000 subscribers on YouTube and whatever else on X, right? I don't even know what you have on X.
In the beginning, I think it was just they wanted promotion, so they just invited a bunch of people. Anyone who would regularly post about the topic, because they see that I'm engaged with the thing. It's not just one-off. I'm doing that constantly. So they thought this guy is going to mention us a lot of times. So here, CPP invite. And then, but nowadays it's harder because there's more tools. And as I said before, people don't use just one tool. So inviting someone for a CPP, it takes a lot of work right now. You have to accept a lot of things like doing testing, doing exclusive content just with them and just mentioning them. So I'm turning down CPPs actually these days.
Well, this is going to be an interesting part of the growth from my channel. Like I would love to do some kind of collaboration thing with you. Like I do a song and then you can spend 12 hours doing the video on it and or whatever. It could be something like that. I like the video editing parts of it, but I really like the song making part. I don't know. I think we should probably do a collaboration thing at some point.
That would be extremely cool.
I think. And then I can feature one of my 5 artists will be technically you, but it's both of us. Cool.
Thank you
Nice.
by the feature. By the way, I wanted to tell you in person. Thank you for the featuring.
Oh,
I
no,
was,
that's
I was really
all-
happy.
I love it.
I showed the screenshot to all my family. See, I've been named best artist of the week. They were like, "Oh, congratulations!"
That's what I want, man. I'm so glad that came off for you. That's totally what I want. I want people to be like, "Oh, that's cool," because I try to tell people like this is very much in the dark. People are alone, dude. Thanks so much for dialing in, man. Like I was
Thank you
actually
for having
looking
me.
forward to this. Like you just exude coolness in this space. So I was really looking for. I knew it was going to be a cool conversation. So yeah, I appreciate you dialing in, and I definitely want to do it again.
Would be a pleasure.